Morrison, Tap Out Talk Tuesdays.
What's going on, everyone, from Tap Out MMA Talk? My name is Danny Podolsky, and I'm joined with Lex, the Grizzly Bear. Ludlow, fresh off his win against Sean Dinnan last weekend. Lex, congrats, brother, and thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. What an introduction with the new nickname, right?
Yeah, you know what? Let me ask you about that. The Grizzly Bear. You finally got a nickname. I love it. How are you feeling about it?
I really like it a lot. That commentary was actually, as I make dinner. I apologize.
Oh, no
Um,
worries.
Whatchamacalls it? As I was fighting, or when I was watching it rather, and they were calling me that. I thought that was the funny. Hello, I thought that was the funniest thing in the world. Say hi, real quick. I thought it was the funniest thing in the world. It kind of sticks because I'm a hairy son of a gun anyway. But it was like what I was kind of telling you right before off camera. Um, I'm really in your face, and I don't stop, and I kind of I feel like I attack like a grizzly bear, and then when I'm on top of you, I'm just nonstop pressure, nonstop attacking, so it kind of fits, and I really like it a lot. A lot of people like it, so.
Yeah, and so I think the Grizzly Bear fit that performance. From what I saw, you mauled Sean Din. You got on top and just pounded him out.
That's how I usually fight, dude. I usually all my amateur fights. They all would have been finishes. Every single one of them would have been finishes if there was ground and pound in the face and stuff like that. So, but unfortunately, when I first started fighting, advanced amateur didn't really get introduced until around I'd say 2015, and I went pro in 2016. So I only got to do one fight with the advanced amateur, and it didn't even go to the ground. I caught the guy in a submission. So I never really got to maul those guys like that. But yeah, it's a good feeling, man, when you get to go out there and just impose your will and break somebody like that, for sure.
Yeah, and talk to me about, this fight specifically, because since you've come back to MMA in the past few years, you of course have the 10-second knockout, but that's kind of like you're in and out. And then the fight with Cam Graham was just a dog fight, a grueling fight. This one, I feel like, is probably how you envisioned your fights go when you get in there, just take this guy's will and eventually get the round two TKO.
Yeah, I mean, with Cam, it was like what we talked about last time when we interviewed like a month ago, I think it was, or kind of a month ago,
Before the fight.
um, before the fight. I was supposed to fight that other dude at 205. Cam, stepped in. I fought him I took the fight at 212. And, dude, I don't know. I just think to myself, when I saw all those tickets and all these people are coming, everybody wants to call them their fans. Dude, they're not your fans. They're your friends. They're your friends. They're your family. They support you. They're people that want to see you do good in life. So my people always support me. I can't let the people down. I gotta go and perform. I don't care how big you are. I don't care what color you are. I don't discriminate. I come for it. But but listen, I fought Cam, and this is something that I really was thinking about over the weekend and digesting with the fight. What I learned from the Cam fight into the Sean Deanan fight was Cam was extremely patient with me. When he got taken down, he wasn't I wouldn't say worried, but he was just patient. He waited for the opportunities to explode. He let me gas myself out. Yeah, I would connect. I would hit him hard, but I would also miss a lot of shots too. I throw like a madman, for God's sakes. I get that from Chael Sonnen, by the way. Chael was my inspiration to get into fighting. And if you ever watch Chael Sonnen's fights, man, he takes you down, he imposes his will, and it's nonstop pressure, it's nonstop punching, and that's how I like to fight. And John Fitch, Chael Sonnen, stuff like that. 1 second, baby, I'm busy. And that's where his experience really played a factor in, where he let me get tired, and then he kind of started to take over after I would mid round two to the whole entire round three. It's where he took over. So when I took Sean Deanan down, there's a takedown I didn't post on. It happened within 10 seconds in the fight. I took him down, and he went for a Kimura, and he was using all his might with the Kimura. And I said to myself, I was like, bro, this dude's gonna be tired if he keeps holding us, and that's exactly kind of what happened. I just used my Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, go play. Okay, I'll be right out. So he ended up getting tired, and that's where I started to impose my will and take advantage of him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And for this fight, like talk, it's also your return to 205 in a while. How did you feel about the weight cut and just being back to light heavy?
It was rough, dude. So I shouldn't say it was rough. Like I didn't have to water cut. Like this is a new thing that everybody does. Like when I first started fighting, bro, you just you would just whatchamacallit. Can you guys go stop, please? Please, for 10 seconds. They're fighting, dude. These kids are I got 4 kids, dude. They don't stop fighting. They don't stop pestering each other. It's hard to do anything with these kids. But I'm gonna close myself in a room with that.
Hey, full-time full fighter, full-time dad. I love it.
Yeah, crazy. But what were you asked? What was the question again? I got sidetracked. I'm sorry.
No, the weight cut to 205.
Oh, right. So the commission down there was insane. So like with PA, it's like it's a lot more strict in PA. So I dieted down and it wasn't too hard. It was the hardest day was that Thursday. That was the hardest day. And like the day before the weigh-ins. And then Friday was pretty much at ease. Like I had to drive we had to drive like 6 hours to the weigh-ins. It didn't get hard until I got to the weigh-ins and I started sucking on ice cubes, right? I was 205.8 when I left. And then when I got there, I didn't know what I was because the commission was late. So the commission's late. I'm like, dude, I'm sucking on ice cubes. I don't care. I don't care if I miss weight or not at this point. I'm dying. Like I feel like I need to drink something. So I'm sucking on ice cubes. And this dude brings in like a scale like I got in here, like in my bathroom. Like I just have like a regular like bathroom scale. Like it's not like 100% accurate.
Sure.
And he walks in with it and he puts it down on carpet. And I'm like, oh, God. I'm like, what I'm definitely missing. Like, that's what I'm like thinking to myself. And I step on a scale. Sure enough, dude, 206.2. You know, I missed weight, right? So I look at Sean because if I'm Sean, I'm making a big deal about this. I'm like, yo, you got to go run this 0.2 off, right? And Sean's not looking at me. He's not like, he's like, so he was really nervous. I will say that. He was very nervous. And so he's not paying attention to it. So I look at the commissioner and I go, what are we doing about this? And the commissioner is like, what do you mean? And I was like, I missed weight. And he was like, you did? And I was like, yeah. He was like, oh, he's like, what's the fight supposed to be at? I was like, 205. I was like, I get a pound allowance. And he's like, he looks at me, he looks me up and down, and he goes, let's just say you made it, brother. And I was like, what? I was like, okay, all right, let's go with this. I was like, yeah, this is okay. I was like, we're all right with this. And then, yeah, so there was like no complaints or whatever. What they said was they were like, we don't want you to get naked, so we'll just say that your underwear weighed the 0.2 or whatever. So that's where they gave me like my grace, I guess. And what's that?
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, I guess big props to the West Virginia State Athletic Commission on that one.
Yeah, dude, and even in the back, like for the fights and stuff, like it was just like, I mean, everything was well run. Like it wasn't like it was like crazy or anything like that. It was just like they don't like babysit you like the PA Athletic Commission does. Like they kind of just like you just go up to them, you're like, oh, here's my wraps, and then you kind of go right before the fight. They tape it up, and like that's the last time you see them. Like, and then like you get paid, and like you go home. Like it was like nothing. Like, yeah, it was. I don't know. I liked it. I actually liked it a lot. I wish it was a little closer. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I was gonna say too, like obviously most of your fights have been in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, but getting to go a little bit out of the region, is that something you want to do more? Is kind of take more fights that are further away from PA or New Jersey?
I mean, like, it was a lot easier on me, like, mentally, just because when you're selling a lot of tickets, which I love. I love everybody coming, and I want to sell those tickets. I want everybody to be there, right? But sometimes it's just stressful. Like the week of the fight is the most stressful week. You know what I mean? Like, and mind you, I wasn't cutting weight for the last for those two, for the RJ one and the Cam one. But still, though, you got people hitting you up last second buying these tickets, and then you got this person's like, "Oh, I can't make it. Can you give me a refund?" I'm like, no, you know what I mean? Like, but like, you got to give them the refund, but you got to be, you got to be a good person, and then you're worried about selling that ticket, and then it's just a snowball effect. Like, it just doesn't stop, and like I live in the chaos. Like, I do like it. I do love it, but for this fight, it was really nice that I didn't have to deal with any of that. Like, and it was nice that I got to just go out there and worry about me. And bro, again, no feelings in the back, dude. Like all these dudes, like they get stressed or like breathing heavy in the back, and they're freaking out. I'm just hanging out with my friends, dude. I'm hanging out with Chris and Kyle and Chase, and we're just having conversations and we're just talking. Oh, we're up in 3 fights. Let's go warm up. And then like we go warm up a little bit, move around. And then I just sat around. I just sat around for like another 15 minutes, and then I went out and I fought.
What do you think attributes to, that sort of confidence and not having, I guess, sort of that fear, if you will, that might come with fighting in front of, may not fears might not be the right word, but I guess the anxiety that comes with fighting in front of your friends, selling tickets in PA.
Well, you're saying like, why don't I have anxiety? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Because when I was a kid, bro, I always wanted to be a professional wrestler. I always wanted to fight, and I will fight. I wanted to wrestle in front of 17, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000 people all the time. That's something like my girlfriend, like we were talking about that not too long ago. That's something that I've always mentally prepared myself for. And that's something that I always, bro, I used to stand in front, it's so corny, and I can't believe I'm sharing this, but I used to stand in front of the mirror and I would cut promos like pro wrestling interviews in front of the mirror. Like we're talking like from the age of like 8 to like 18. And if you dig hard enough, really, really, really hard enough, I have YouTube videos out there where I posted of me talking in front of a mirror in like 2011, 2012, where I call out my homie, big brother Alex Myers, he's not a professional fighter anymore, but he's a professional grappler. But his brother owns Saga BJJ. But anyway, I would always troll him in high school, and because he would dog me in wrestling. He was a really good wrestler. And I would always be like, Alex Myers, you sit in your bathroom, you eat sandwiches because you're fat and everybody hates you and you hate yourself and blah, blah, blah. If you dig hard enough, you can find this. But from when I was 8 to about then, I would always go in the mirror and I would practice these promos like I was in front of people. And I'm just not afraid of that stuff, dude. That stuff doesn't bother me. Losing doesn't bother me because I've already lost. That's already happened. For those guys that don't ever lose, and they go out there and they think they're going to be the next Khabib and stuff like that. That's where the nerves come to them because there's all this pressure on them for not to lose. And I've already lost 4 times, and then I lost twice as an amateur. So, I have no pressure with that stuff.
Yeah. Well, switching gears a little bit, you mentioned wanting to fight in front of 10,000, 15,000 fans. You've got a big announcement, Lex. I'm gonna let you say it.
Yeah. So about 3.5 weeks ago, I got hit up by Nate Shook, who was the matchmaker for BKFC. Apparently, when they did the Wells Fargo show, a lot of people, this is quoted by him, a lot of people came up to him and were saying, hey, like, if you guys are coming to Philadelphia all the time, you guys need Lex Ludlow. And I mean, I think Nate and I like talked one time before back in the day, but like he didn't remember who I was, and he was like, "Who's this Lex Ludlow guy?" And I guess he looked me up or something, and I'm not quite too sure. My memory serves me right. I think he watched when I was staring down the announcer, and he was just like, "I got to have this guy." And then he reached out to me. We started talking a little bit, and I just signed with them yesterday, brother. I signed a one fight deal, because this is bare knuckle. Not a lot of people are made for this. You go in there, you get touched up, and you might not want to do it again. But the goal is to see how this goes, and maybe possibly a multi-fight deal after this. But I mean, I'm still want to do MMA. I still love MMA. And if BKFC doesn't work out, then of course I'm going to fight MMA.
Yeah, well, I guess the Grizzly Bears taking off the gloves. I love it. Hey, first of all, congrats on that announcement.
Yeah, man.
I personally felt when that big card happened at Wells Fargo last month, I was someone just as a viewer saying, Lex has got to be on this card. We have all these Philadelphia fighters here, and Lex has, the personality, the fight style. We got to get him on this. So I'm very happy for you on that. Is there any form of like date in mind? And I know.
Yes.
Okay, give me that.
1 month. Okay. Yeah, March 21st. We're fighting at the ECW arena somewhere. I kind of look at bare knuckle, bro, as like I don't know if you know what ECW is, right? But ECW, I'll give you a quick history lesson. ECW was the one of the big three pro wrestling promotions, and it was based in Philadelphia. And they did all their shows at the 2300 Arena, which was dubbed the ECW Arena, right? I really look at BKFC as the ECW of combat sports because, you got UFC, you got boxing, which is, boxing and UFC, they're the two biggest, obviously, right? And then you got PFL, blah, blah, blah. But I look at BKFC right now as number 3 promotion, right? Because look at all the people they just signed. I just read they just signed Fedor Emelianenko. You know what I mean? They got all the biggest names. They got Conor McGregor running around dancing and doing his crazy thing. It's weird. He's my boss. It's really weird. Conor McGregor is my boss. That's really weird, dude. But yeah, I look at them like they're like the they're kind of like the ECW of like combat sports right now, and I'm digging it, dude. Like I'm very excited to be a part of this movement right now, and I really like that they're out of Philly, and I can bring on my people. I told a lot of people behind the scenes, like I texted a lot of people about this, and a lot of people are very excited about this. A lot of people want to come. I already got a new sponsor. I'm gonna shout them out right now, bro. He's a good friend of mine, bro. I gotta remember the name. That's all. I don't want to fuck it up. It's called Good Works.
Good Works.
And I Good Works. Yeah, this dude, his name's Tim. He makes like now he's gonna kill me for this, but to me they look like fanny packs, but I'm sure he has a different name for them. Did I lose you? Oh, there you go. But they look like fanny packs, but I mean they're pretty sick. Like he makes them, like hand stitches them himself and everything. This dude's a grinder. His whole shop is based out of Fuel Hunt headquarters, and this dude's just a grinder, bro. And he's a great dude. He gave me these Stoic books. He's always trying to help me with my mental, and like the one thing, bro, like I really did this time around with fighting is I surrounded myself with people that are not negative. That I don't want negativity in my life, like with the fighting and stuff like that. I don't want to be told, I gotta wait to fight. I don't want to be told that I don't want to be. I'm 31. I don't got time to wait. I took 6 years. I waited for 6 years. I waited a long time. You know what I mean? I don't want to wait no more. I don't want to be told that, maybe we should look at something else. Maybe we should do that. I don't want to be told that stuff. I just want to do it. I just want to do it. Like, because life is too short. I'm going to blink and then I'm be 41 years old and I'm not going to want to do this no more. So I want to get as many fights as I can. And honestly, brother, my team around me, they really believe that I can make it in this. And that's all I need. And I got the right people around me that train with me all the time. And then the people outside that train with me, I surround myself with the right people. And that's all you really need to be successful. You know what I mean? Like, look at me, bro. I went from an 0-3 pro to a 2-4 pro, unfortunately. But I won 2, lost 1. And I arguably could have won that one. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like I lost. Like, I dominated that first round. I got to get that one back, brother, eventually. I got to fight that dude again one day. Before I'm done fighting, dude, I'm going to fight Cam Graham again.
I would love to see that rematch. I thought you and Cam put on one of the best fights that night, and very, very back and forth fight. I know that didn't go the way you wanted, but going back to the BKFC news, fighting at EWC, is that the biggest arena you will fought at?
ECW, bro. Get your shit right, Danny. Is that the biggest arena that I fought at? I mean, I fought there before in 2016.
Okay.
It didn't go my way, that one. But I mean, like history wise and whatnot, yeah. I mean, that would be the biggest one. I mean, it's the biggest for everybody, I think, history wise. Like, just because of the pro wrestling, there's boxing, there's MMA. Ring of Honor was there. I can name, dude, I'm a pro wrestling nerd, so I can name all these promotions that were there and whatnot. But I can go on and on and on. But like a lot of famous, needless to say, a lot of famous people stepped in that arena. A lot of famous people fought in that arena. But I mean, I do like Live Casino. Like Live Casino to me was my favorite to fight in. My favorite. Let me correct myself. My favorite venue to ever fight in was, sorry, my wife just got home. She's yelling at the kids. She's so I could do this. My favorite venue I ever fought in was Sands Casino back in 2016. Dude, They have a beautiful venue. When you walk out, Danny, it's like a Pride. You remember Pride?
Oh,
Pride FC?
I mean, not personally watching it because it died when I was like 7, but I of
Yeah.
course know about Brad.
They had like a ramp that you would walk out. And this promotion I just fought for now kind of had that feeling. It was kind of weird though. Like I walked out and like people were like eating dinner, like as I'm like walking next to them. It was really weird. Like the fight on Saturday, I'm talking. Like as I walked out, like my music hit, and I'm walking, and there's like a table right here, a table right here, and they're like eating dinner, and I'm like taking my clothes off like in front of them, and I'm like, eh. And then like it was just really weird setup, but it was a really nice venue. I like the venue, I guess, over the weekend, but my favorite venue definitely was Sands Casino.
Got you. And for BKFC, like, what are there any sort of fears that you have going into it, or just
No,
the whole different, you know,
no,
environment,
no, no,
sort of
no.
expectations, I guess, do you have for it?
Expectations for me to win. That's my expectations. Um, I don't do this to lose, man. I do this to win. But I mean, I accept when I make my mind up what I'm doing, and I get the opponent because I already have an opponent for it. And I talk to Chris, I talk to Kyle, talk to Will, and like I'll be like I don't really like to watch tape anymore because I feel like I obsess so much over Cam. I don't want to do that anymore, dude. I watched this much, like I probably watched like 10 minutes of Sean Deanan, and see how I treated him, right? Um, I'm gonna do the same thing with this guy. I kind of watched a little bit like when it first got offered to me a month ago, and I haven't watched it since. But I feel confident, dude. Like I like better that way because I feel like I'm fighting. That's why I like to go to other gyms too because I go to like Gentlemen's and I go to Saga and I roll with those dudes and they're all new guys. Like I don't train with those guys every day. Like I train with Chris and Kyle every day. Chris and Kyle know I sparred them 1,000 times, bro. They know what I'm gonna do before I even do it, and it's insane. I trained, yeah. I beat up Sean Deanan, right? And then I went and I trained yesterday with Kyle and Chris. And like the level of difference is just insane, dude. Like I went from manhandling him and like I get like dude, they beat me 10 times out of 10, right? I have my moments, but with each training session. But like I'm training I'm training with them and it's a huge I could just feel it. It's a huge difference, bro, like in level. We need to get Kyle. We need to get Kyle back in the UFC, bro. We need to get Kyle Dawkins back in the UFC, dude, because that's where my man belongs. Dude, Kyle is an amazing human being. He's a freaking psychopath with fighting, dude. Dude's like a demon, bro. Like you think like my forward pressure is insane. He makes me back up. He is the best, probably the best fighter I've ever trained with in my life. And I'm not just milking him when I say that. I'm not milking his udders, dude. I would never milk my friend's udders. All right. But what I'm saying is true. He is the best fighter right now out of any weight class, in my opinion, that is not signed by the UFC. And I'm telling you right now, dude, if Mick Maynard don't sign this dude, after the BKFC fight, I'm flying to freaking UFC headquarters. I told Kyle this. I'm gonna make Kyle come with me. I don't care. I don't care if he kills me. We're going to UFC headquarters. We're flying out there. If Grandma can stand outside with a sign and say, "I want to see freaking Islam fight" or whatever the hell, I can walk through UFC headquarters and I can demand to talk to Mick Maynard or Dana White, and I will get Kyle Dawkins signed.
I'll say this from my perspective as someone who, I train a little bit at Martinez and have seen Chris and Kyle in the gym. Kyle Dawkins, objectively, he was 3-3 in the UFC, gets cut 4-0 since then. I completely
I think
agree.
he's 5-0, bro. I think he's 5-0 now.
Absolutely, Kyle Dawkins. It's long overdue. I didn't even think he should have been cut when he did, but absolutely, I agree. Kyle Dawkins needs to get back in the UFC. I don't think you're milking his udders at all in that one.
Yeah, no one's milking udders over here, bro. We're not milking Kyle Dawkins' udders, but what we are is we're promoting Kyle Dawkins because Kyle Dawkins needs to be in the UFC. And I'm not saying it because he helps me. I'm not saying it because he's my friend. I'm saying it because I really believe it, dude. And to be able to train with him every day and conversate with him, the guy really does deserve it. I'm getting emotional talking about it because I really care about Chris and Kyle a lot, and they both deserve it. I'm not just trying to milk Kyle's udders. We can milk Chris's udders a little too here. Chris is going to get back on a winning streak, and we'll see him in a major promotion one day. You know what I mean? Chris just came out of that tough fight with Tafan or whatever that dude's name is. Who cares what that guy's name is, right? But we'll get Chris Dahlquist back there too. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. And like the one thing, right? I've been really helping Kyle with his wrestling, dude. Kyle is like, it's getting scary, bro. Like how good his wrestling is getting, bro. He watching him go from not even be able to like really, not saying he couldn't like shoot a takedown, but like, you know, he just didn't really understand the mechanics of like a high school wrestling traditional takedown. You know what I mean? And then me just breaking it down for him and helping him with it, to watching what he does now and watching him like how he shoots now, dude. It's a scary thing to see, and I'm really excited for him to use it when he fights.
Yeah, and certainly, obviously, his nickname's the Dark Knight. So once he gets you to that ground, he's probably gonna either choke you out or just smother you. So
He's going to murder you.
yeah, I got nothing more to add to that. I'm fully behind this. Kyle Dawkins. Chris eventually, but right now, Kyle Dawkins needs to get signed to the UFC. At Sean Shelby, at McMaynard, get it
Yeah,
together.
let's go, because if not, I'm showing up to UFC headquarters.
And trust me, you don't want an angry grizzly bear showing up to the UFC headquarters.
Listen, I'd be nice and I'd be respectful, but like one thing about me, Danny, is I'm very annoying, and like and Kyle knows that, right? And I told Kyle, I said, listen, this would either make or break you, but listen, you're gonna let me do all the talking. I'll show up, and listen, but I guarantee you, I will be so annoying, like in a respectful way. I'll just be like, hey, I'm not leaving till this guy signs. I'll sleep here. I don't care, dude. Call the cops. Have me trespassed. I'll still show up. Like, we're not leaving till Kyle Dawkins is signed. Don't you worry, it'll happen.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I want to believe that in the next couple months, there's going to be some middleweight fight that falls out, and Kyle's going to be the one to get the call. But again, who knows? Either way, get this man back to the UFC. Lex, going back to you, your next fight's going to be BKFC. In the long term, do you see yourself come back to MMA? And do you want to fight again for Art of War?
Oh, 100%, dude. I love Art of War. I love Mike and Deb. Um, this is just something I got to do, dude. You know what I mean? Like, so when I was 0-2 pro, I got offered to fight for Bellator, right? And the guy I got offered to fight, I don't know if you know this name, but if people watch this and they know his name, they'll be like, ooh, right? I got offered to fight Ed Ruth, okay, at Penn State. He was a very, very, very good wrestler, okay? And I like, people talk about my wrestling. This dude would run circles around me in wrestling, right? Like, we're talking NCAA champ, okay? I got offered to fight Ed Ruth. And my coach at the time was like, oh, this is not a good idea, you know, blah, blah, blah. Well, I regret not doing it, because you never know. You know what I mean? You never know what can happen. I could have caught him. You never know. But I regret not doing it. When I was an amateur, a promoter at the time named Ryan Kerwin called me, he owned XCC. So when you look at my record, the XCC fights, he called me and said, hey, man, I got an opportunity for you. You're going to be the first ever amateur fight for World Series of Fighting. That was before PFL was PFL.
Sure.
And I turned it down. And like, I missed out on those opportunities. 31, you know, these opportunities don't always come and go now. You know what I mean? So, you know, Dana even said it in an interview, and I watched it recently. He said he's not looking to sign 30-year-old contenders. So, and you know, I'm only 2-4. I'm gonna have to win like 10 fights in a row by finish, even to get considered by getting signed. And by the time I get 10 fights under my belt, I'll be like 35, 36. You know what I mean? So sorry, I messed my nose up in the fight a little bit. So these are chances I gotta take, man. And you know, it's just like you said, BKFC, like they want the personality. You know what I mean? They want the personality, and I'm willing to give it. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun, dude. And I really can't wait. But MMA is never off the table, dude, because, I mean, let's be honest. The guy I'm fighting, his name's Conor McKenna, and he followed me on Instagram. And for some reason, he liked a picture of me and my girlfriend, right? But, like, I don't think Conor McKenna realizes that this isn't really a fight. Like, it's just boxing, like, with no gloves on, right? Like, if this was an actual fight, this would be considered an MMA fight, which I would kill him in, okay? But like unfortunately enough for him, this is bare knuckle boxing. But I'm still gonna kill him in this too.
I love it. Lex Ludlow always calling the promos. Lex, my final question for you. Looking at 2025, it started off with a win. We got BKFC fight coming up. Give me your sort of roadmap for the rest of the year.
My roadmap for the rest of the year, man. I like to take it one fight at a time, brother. But I'll do it just for you.
In an ideal world.
An ideal world. All right, we win BKFC because I think I'm gonna finish this dude in the third or fourth round. All right, we're gonna win BKFC. I think if they offer, I'm not gonna lie, bro. If they offer me a multi-fight deal, I'm taking it. So we'll go down two roads. We'll go down the road where they offer me the multi-fight deal, which I'll sign. I'm gonna go to Wells Fargo and I'll fight at Wells Fargo because that's a dream, dude. I always wanted to fight at Wells Fargo. You know what I mean? I gotta fight at Wells Fargo, and everybody that watches this, they need to respect that. You know what I mean? They need to respect it. It's not like I'm doing it out of spite. It's not like I'm doing it for any bad reason. It's just that like I I feel like that this is a dream for me and a dream for a lot of people, and I gotta get my name in lights, bro. Like I've been wanting to do this my whole life. So if they offer me a multi-fight deal, I'll sign. Now let's say I win and I don't like it because that is a possibility too. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, this is kind of a limited rule set. I like taking people down. I like mauling them, like that stuff, right? It's a possibility. Then I'll fight regional MMA again, and I'll build my record up and fight from there. But I really like just to take it one fight at a time. I'm very focused right now, and a lot of people when they win, they're real cocky and they're real like, I got like a chip on their shoulder and whatnot. No chip on my shoulder, brother. It's one fight at a time. I feel the exact same I did a week ago. I don't. It's just another soul I just took. That's all it is. Another soul, another guy that retired. That's all it is. They don't. If you notice, Dan, they don't fight again after they fight me. I wonder why that is, Dan. Why is that? Why don't they fight after me, brother?
Hey, you go in the cage with the grizzly bear, you don't come out the same.
You don't come out the same, dude. You just don't. Every guy I fought, every single one, has not fought again after I beat them.
Really? Anyways,
Every single one.
is that
I
is
wonder
that
why that
true?
is.
Is that
It's
true?
100. It's 100% a fact, brother.
Oh,
100% a fact. Every single person I beat, they never fight me again. And it's because they think I suck and they realize they're like, hey, maybe I'm not too good at this. Or they're like, wow, like that guy just beat the living crap out of me. Maybe I'm just not meant for this life. Yeah, you could beat the crap out of me. I'm still back in there. Month two later. Yeah, I'm saying, Danny boy. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited, Danny. Are you gonna be there for the BKFC?
I'm doing everything I can to get there. I want to see if I can get credentialed for it. But I'm hoping to be there. Hoping to be there. I was hoping to get at the Wells Fargo one last month. It didn't work out. We're hoping Dave and I, the guy I run tap out with, we're hoping to get there. We're gonna see if it works out.
The one big difference I'll say with dealing with BKFC and like Art of War and then like Made Men and them, right? Is that like when I fought for XCC, there was just one guy running everything. He did the medicals, he did the contracts, he did the tickets, he did everything, right? So when I came back and I fought for Art of War, I thought I would just deal with Mike with everything. And then like he passed me off to Deb, she's such an amazing person to work with. Both of them were, like in Deb, right? And I was just not used to it. So I was like, oh my God, like what's going on? And now BKFC, dude, I got like 17 different people in my email with 17 different things they want me to do. And I'm like, bro, I don't even know how to send an email. I'm like, what is going on? I got to get my girl to do everything. I'm like, oh my God, like what, like, dude, I just show up. Like, I don't even understand like what we're doing here. Like, yeah, it's pretty fun so far. Like, I think I'm gonna have a lot of fun.
Awesome. Well, Lex Ludlow, first of all, congrats on the win. Guys, Lex is fresh off his win over Sean Dinnan, the newest fighter in the BKFC. Lex, if there's any people, socials, whatever you want to shout out, the platform is yours.
I'm gonna shout out a bunch of people. I'm gonna shout out one of my sponsors first. We got Roman Delight. out of Abington, PA, right? The Stelzer men, right? Got Mike and Mike. I've known Mike. I know Junior since probably 2009. I'd say great dude. Just got off the phone with him today. Got great pizza, great food. Go stop in and check that out. Then we got Capital Lending with Kevin. Kevin is an amazing mortgage guy, dude. This guy will go above and beyond for your mortgage needs. Kevin is a huge fan. Always wants the logo on the shorts. Listen, the logo will always be on the shorts, Kevin. You don't gotta worry, brother. We're always gonna work together, man. Then we got Prime Real Estate with Doug. Doug and Kevin, they work together a lot. Doug, we're thinking about selling my house soon. Doug goes above and beyond as well. I'll text Doug at 3 o'clock in the morning. Dude wakes up. We're looking for a house at 3:01. You know what I mean? Doug goes around the clock. Doug don't care. He's trying to help you get that house that you want. Then we got the Good Works that I already talked about with Tim. Tim's a hard worker, and I want people to sponsor me. I want people that I know to sponsor me, and I want hard workers to sponsor me. I don't want just some lazy dude just giving me money or whatever. I mean, I guess he could, but whatever. And then I told this one dude I'm gonna shout him out because, bro, I got people all over the world that watch me fight, right? And I know that's weird to say. I'm not saying like every thousands of people, but I got like a couple people in Canada that watch me fight, right? And then I got this one dude in Australia that watches me fight, right? His name's Dan Rhodes. Bro, Dan Rhodes. I told Dan Rhodes I was gonna tell the story. Dan Rhodes, right? He is the best fighter to never fight in his life. This dude sent me, right? Sorry, I'm trying not to laugh. He sent me this this video, and he was like, "What do you think about this?" Bro, he was at a golf, he was golfing with his coworkers, right? This dude, a little disrespectful to Dan, right? You don't disrespect Dan Rhodes, bro. Dan walks up to this dude, smacks him, just open hand forearm, or open hand smack right to the chin, right? All of a sudden, shirts are off, right? I'm like, damn. I'm like, what's this guy doing? Like, Dan's gonna kill this dude. Dan shoots a perfect double leg, right? Dan takes him down, pounds him out, right? Gets up, dude. Dude has to golf the rest of the day with a torn shirt. Dan don't care about that. Dan don't care about that, dude. Dan will golf all day long with no shirt on. In Australia, that dude deals with boa constrictors and freaking alligators and great white sharks down there. You think he cares he has to golf with a shirt off?
Probably not.
Yeah, we're going to tag Dan Rhodes in this because Dan Rhodes is one heck of a guy, let me tell you. I got to shout out the Dawkins brothers, dude. Chris and Kyle Dawkins. We got to get Kyle Dawkins signed. Chris Dawkins, we got to get something going for him, you know what I mean? I really feel like Chris Dawkins is an excellent bowler, bro. What do you think about that?
You said bowler?
Yeah, bowler. I really feel like he's a good bowler, bro.
Chris Dawkins to the PBA? I'm not opposed to it.
What do you think his score is, bro?
I'm gonna say mid 200s, maybe shoot 260, 270 on a good day, let's say.
Yeah, I feel like he's a really good bowler, bro. He's got good footwork. That's why I'm saying that. I feel like he's like a Fred Flintstone out there. You know what I'm saying, dude? Then we got to shout out my best friend, Will Martinez, dude. Will Martinez is my best friend, and he knows he's my best friend, bro. Every time we walk into the gym, he hugs me. Every time, dude. I don't know what it is about it, dude, but he's got to hug me every time we walk in. So always got to shout out Will Martinez. Let me just shout out Chase because if I don't shout him out, he'll get upset and cry at him. You know what I mean? So we got to shout out Chase because if we don't, he'll cry and throw a big fit about it. So we'll shout him out too. I'll shout out my family as always, my girlfriend, my kids, my inspiration, and they're the ones that drive me to do this. And everybody that buys tickets, let's go. Let's pack this place. Let's show BKFC how crazy we can be. You know what I mean?
Awesome. Well, Lex, it's always awesome getting to talk to you. Guys, Lex Ludlow, the Grizzly Bear, fresh off his win against Sean Deanan.
I got one more thought.
Go for it.
When Chris Dawkins retires from fighting, maybe he can make it run in professional bowling.
My hope is that maybe 10 years from now, we're going to look back on this clip and when Chris Dawkins by then is the greatest bowler in the world, you're going to be able to say
Dude, we're talking about you might not get this because you're young, but we're talking about the Ernie McCracken of freaking bowling, bro. If you don't know who Ernie McCracken is, Google it. Dude, I could see Chris Dawkins being just as good as Ernie McCracken, dude.
Is that who do you think you are? I am. That's kind of the only bowling clip I know, to be honest.
No, that's it's a movie called Kingpin, and that would be Bill Murray who played Ernie McCracken. But I could totally see him being Ernie McCracken and me being Roy Munson, dude. Because Chris Dawkins is one of the few people that can out trash talk me to my face. That's what drives me crazy, Dan, about them is they're really good trash talkers and they don't do it. It drives me nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough.
Sorry, you can end the video now. I'm sorry.
No, you're all good. You're all good. Lex, it's always a pleasure getting to talk to you. Lex Ludlow, one of my favorite interviews, one of the best promoters. I never know what you're gonna say when we come on, so it's always a pleasure getting to talk to you, Lex. Lex is the latest BKFC signing. Lex, thank you so much for taking the time. I'm saying the word Lex too much. The Grizzly Bear.
It's okay, bro.
That's all we got.
Yeah, listen. Everybody likes Mustache Mountain, man. Just fortunate enough for you, if you're stepping across the ring for me, you might have to take a ride on Mustache Mountain. That's all.
Hell yeah. Turn it off there.